Okay, here we are. This is the fifth of the 5 mindfulness disciplines, the end of the first half of the 10 disciplines. And as you will have noticed, they're getting more and more complicated as we go along. So this is really the most complicated of the mindfulness disciplines. But in that way, it's got the most steps, but the steps none of them are particularly difficult to do. The basic idea here is we want to pay attention to when it is that we don't do what we decided was in our own best interest. But in order to know when I'm not doing what was good for me, I have to have decided what was good for me. So the first step is to make a plan for here's what I'm going to do in my life. Here's how I'm going to show up. And I'm going to be very specific about it. Now, I may have all kinds of grand plans about what I'm going to do at some point in the future. So we're going to narrow this down to the smallest. This is good. In a particular time frame, like tomorrow. What am I going to do tomorrow? So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plan for tomorrow. And I'm going to look at all of the things that I might do that would be good for me tomorrow. And what am I going to do and when am I going to do it? And I'm going to be as specific as I can be about that. There may be a bunch of things that I think I ought to do. I really should go to yoga in the morning, but I haven't been going. If this is not something at this point that you normally do, set it aside for now. This is not yet about adding new things. What we want to do is say, this is what I do every day. I get up in the morning, I bathe, I brush my teeth, I eat my breakfast, So what are the things that I intend to do that I believe is in my own best interest to do? I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to write it out. Now, some things that we should all have on our plan, one of the things that's valuable is to sleep. The best thing you can do for your own well-being is to have good sleep hygiene, which basically means you get enough sleep every day. Well, how much is enough? How many hours do you need to sleep? If you're sleeping less than 6 hours, you're not getting enough sleep. You probably need more like 7 or 8. If you're getting 10 hours of sleep, you're probably oversleeping. But it depends. Figure out for you, how many hours of sleep do you need? Okay? And then figure out, okay, when do I need to be up in the morning? Set it so that you wake up at the same time every morning. Oh, it's a weekend, I can sleep late. Set it so you wake up at the same time every morning. Discipline yourself around this. And then figure out, okay, how many hours before that do I need to have been in bed? Or how long do I have to have been in bed before I'm actually going to go to sleep? So what's my bedtime? So set those parameters at least. What do I eat? What do I not eat? When do I brush my teeth? When do I do this? When do I do that? Make a list and be very specific about what you're doing and when you're doing it so that when you don't, you will notice it. Because that's basically the point here is here's what I decided, me and my own wisdom about my own well-being. Here's what I decided I'm going to do. This isn't somebody else telling you what to do. This is you telling you what to do. This is my plan for what I'm going to do tomorrow. Now, the plan that you make, it's probably not going to be what you actually do. They're going to be, I was 15 minutes late doing that, or I had, there was jelly donuts at work, so I had, there's going to be things where you don't do what you decided to do. Notice that. And notice what it was that got you to do other than what you had decided to do. This is not about you beating up on yourself. Oh, I wasn't going to do this and I did it. Okay, save the shame and blame for somebody else. Right? But this is not what this is about. This is about you noticing, here was my intention. Here's what I actually did. How did that happen? One of the things we begin to notice is that there are certain times when we're more likely to abandon what we decided was in our own best interest. It may be that it's very hard for us to even make a plan because I'm so sure I'm not going to do it. Right? Make the plan, notice, watch, see what happens. This is about getting data about how it is that there's a part of me that's very clear that this is what's healthy for me, and there's another part of me that chooses to do that. So where is that distinction here? And we get to that by making this plan. So I'm gonna decide who it is that I'm going to be. and then I'm going to notice what I actually do. For those of you who are familiar with the 8 orders of being, basically this is a process of at 4th order saying, here's who I'm going to be, and then watching at 5th order, what stops me from being who I decided I was going to be. So this is fairly sophisticated work. This is going to be hard to do. It's simple. It's just a series of, you can do these steps if you can actually get yourself to do them. And it will teach you a lot about yourself. And remember, the only mistake you can make is to not pay attention. Even if you don't make the plan, pay attention to what stopped you from doing the plan. Anything you do to not do this discipline, simply pay attention. Be curious about what does that tell you about what's going on with you, because that's what we're doing here with the mindfulness disciplines. We're learning how to pay attention to our own interior, to take seriously what it is that's going on with us. Because if I know where I am, if I know who I am, I know what it is that I'm about, I'm grounded, I'm centered in my own being, and that's the most powerful place to be. And from that place, I can begin to reach out and transform my relationships with others, which is where we're going next in the disciplines 6 through 10, the 5 practical disciplines, things that we can actually do, strategies for addressing specific problems in our most significant relationships. Get these first 5 down first. Get grounded in your mindfulness exercises here. Know who you are so that you can then bring that self to the practical care that we're going to do next. All right, take care.